Hello, how y'all doing out there? It's Glitter Cake back with another video. Today I'm actually coming with a follow-up to my first video, which was about the timeline shifts happening September 14th, which actually is the sealing of the timeline, excuse me, September 14th, 2019. So we only have a few more days left until that date. I want to come back with a quick video. First, I am actually going to do a card reading of the energies for the time. I'm just going to pull 3 cards, keep it quite simple. Um, and after that, I'm going to follow up with some information regarding the timelines. It may change due to what I see in these cards, actually. However, I had some general information just from what I've been seeing going on lately. So, let's get right in. Just trying to figure out some general information for what you beautiful people need at this time regarding the timeline filling. What's the information that we're looking for? What questions or what questions should we be asking ourselves? What questions can we have answered? You know. Wow. Okay. So, I have the Ace of Swords here reversed, the Ace of Cups, and then we have the Seven of Cups. Right off the bat, honestly, I'm like, what we got going on? Okay. Um, right off the bat, you know what? Excuse me. I'm gonna turn this off. My sound was kind of low last time, and I want y'all to be able to hear me. But right off the bat, Ace of Swords indicate to me, of course, the swords are representative of the air signs, and mentalism is what I'm thinking right now. But things to do with the mind, thoughts, communication, getting your point across. And at the time, it's actually reversed. So with the Ace of Swords being reversed, I feel like it's almost a delay in communication. So I don't know if that's communicating to the universe what we want at this time. Um, there may be like a lot of anxiety or stress, just a lot of thoughts going on at the moment. So I think that it may be really time to take some time for introspection, because the next card is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups yield, they can yield many financial rewards, but at the same time, or excuse me, not financial exactly, but emotional awards, or excuse me, rewards for us. I almost feel like it's an offering of a renewal of the emotions, but I think that some clarity needs to be made mentally, especially then we have these Seven of Cups as the last card, almost saying to me that at this time is so many things going on. I actually just had a reading from a dear friend of mine done, and this was even said to me right now, just clearing up illusions that we have. So I'm not sure if, because I also too, whenever I see the Ace of Swords, I always think heavy is the head that wears the crown, kind of, especially with it being reversed. Um, that you may very well be crowned and caned, or can be the master of your mind, your thoughts, your reality. You know what I'm saying? Because when we master our minds, we can master our reality and the things that go on around us. However, it is definitely almost looking at the rewards that we can reap, but with we're disillusioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're seeing all these different things in front of us that we may be able to gain something from, gain this emotional fulfillment that we're looking for with the Ace of Cups. However, um with the Seven of Cups, seeing all of those things, we're disillusioned. It has our heads in a frenzy, so we kind of can't clear up exactly what it is that we need to be focused on. And I will say that does bring me to the points that I have, or wanted to make with this video, the follow up to the timeline ceiling, because for me, what just happened, and it really was really just in this week, I was seeing like so many patterns. For me, my time cycle, I'm looking at like the last 9 years. So I was seeing different patterns of things, kind of coming, I don't want to say full circle, but just, coming around, or people, places, things, um, events, uh, seeing all of those things and kind of not being able to figure out exactly what it is we want, or letting go of the things that we once wanted, or the things we thought we wanted, and looking to our higher selves for the things that we need, rather than coming from satisfying our lower beings, satisfying our higher selves, um, and really being able to reap the rewards of gaining, like when you gain a relationship, or when you claim your spirituality and your practice for what it is, you it's almost inevitable, I feel like, to not become in touch with your emotions, or be more aware of them. Um so you know what I'm saying, like, once you figure out what it is that you really need, and you know what I'm saying, you let those illusions fall away, those things that you thought that you wanted, those places you thought you needed to be, what you thought you were supposed to be doing, um, why you thought you were doing what you were doing. When we let those illusions fall away, we can really gain a lot of emotional rewards, which lead to, once we heal our emotions and we start to heal that inner part of us, you know what I'm saying, that's really when we become unbound by, I want to say, the circumstances, you know what I'm saying, whatever circumstances we have faced in our lives. Um but that's what I'm getting from the cards right now. I think that even with, I put them out, like I said, I had the Ace of Swords, with the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Cups, and what I'm feeling with that is being able to let our minds go, or excuse me, let our thoughts stop claiming those things that we wanted before we came into certain information, before we came into certain light. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be like, ignorance is bliss, but that's what they be saying, and it's not a blissful ass state, but it felt like it at the time. And then when you start evolving and you start gaining information, you should move forward, and there should be, you need to use clarity, that clarity that you have gained, that information that you have gained, that knowledge and wisdom that you have gained, um, to figure out exactly what is the prize, not the prize, but your prize. What's your the prize? Um, because that's when we're going to gain that fulfillment, is when we realize that and act on it. So I'm trying not to make this that long because the last time it took like 24 hours for my video to upload. I am doing this on a phone, so you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Anywho, which, like I said, the reading kind of falls in line with what I wanted to talk about because it's like, for me, I recently, like I said, this week, I watched, uh, I actually watched the Amy Winehouse biopic. Or, yeah. It was it was lovely because it was like mostly footage of her, and I love Amy. But it made me I questioned some things. Um, like, I went and looked at her natal chart, different stuff, whatever. Um, but there were some dates that from her storyline that align with some of the things that have gone on in my life, or certain cycles that have began in my life. And so, and I was actually very emotional that day when that happened. And it questioned me, like, or excuse me, it made me question just why I was feeling the things that I was feeling. What it was exactly that I was feeling. Was I sad? um was I like happy sad, if that makes sense? But not completely sad, but almost not remorseful isn't the word that I'm looking for, but whatever. But I just think that it's a time for us to, you know what I'm saying, assess our feelings, assess in the past few years, in the past, for me it was like a 9 year span. And then I also look at nine from a numerology standpoint, being like, you know what I'm saying, it can be the ending of cycles. However, at the same time, because it's the ending of a cycle, it's the beginning of a new cycle. So, you know what I'm saying? Almost like a rebirth, a transformation, and time for change, time to go from one level to the next. Moving up levels, because next we're stepping into 2 digit numbers, and we're in the tens, and um so for me, it's been like, a 9 year period that certain things have been happening in my life, or that some very notable things have happened in my life, which have brought me to where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if those things happen, if I would be here. And I'm very thankful for those things. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it wasn't completely sad place, but there were some sad aspects, and some very happy things that I take from the experiences that I've had in the last 9 years. Um, so if you can look into what what was happening for you in the last 9 years, and like I say, for you, it could be different just in the past few years, that right now has come back in this time, and within the last month or so, what themes, or things, patterns have you seen come up? People, what places have you visited that you visited then, or been drawn to? um what thoughts, you know what I'm saying, are there things on your mind that were similar to that time? What things did you start at that time, whether it be a job, you know what I'm saying, raising a family, going to school, those things that happen, that you're in the past, that are coming to revisit you at this time. Um, like I said, as well as people. And I think then you have to ask the question, why? Why do you feel like these things are coming back up? And what can you do? What can you do to shift? What do you what the hell are you overthinking? What are you overthinking to gain these emotional rewards that you're looking, like I said, overthinking, you're looking at all these different things. That's just what I get from that, and that's how that ties into my theme. Um, you know, what is it that you're overthinking at this time that came up a few years ago, sometime where it seems like there was a cycle that began? Because you've probably been carrying out these same energies or looking to match those same energies that happened in the very beginning. You didn't even realize it. That's what happened for me, at least. It may be different for you. But that's what was happening with me. And, it's been a lot of stuff going on. I feel like for everybody, I talk to different friends. And it's kind of the same stories I'm hearing from them, seeing things online, you know what I'm saying? So, um, but what is it that you're overthinking that this inner part of you, because as well, it is the Ace of Cups, and it's like your intuition, your heart, what you know is leading you there. You know what I'm saying? But you're looking at everything else. You're looking at everything else, wondering if you should leave it behind, wondering if that's the right move. Will you survive without it, or how do you survive without it? Um, do you want to survive without it, or is that what you want to go for? Um, I think that's the timeline that we're in, or that's the time that we're in. And I just come to, give ask these questions and give this information because we are, at the final days of the timeline ceiling. And I don't say that to like be like, oh, you got to make a decision now. Like, I can't tell you that. What I can tell you though is, um, all you have to do is begin in your mind, really, and that's first card, Ace of Swords. Begins in your mind. Get your mind right. If right now, if you feel like you can't do it with your actions, get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Because once you start shifting your mindset into doing, the rest is gonna follow suit. So, um, I also wanted to mention, with me saying that about I don't know what y'all be doing, but about contacting your ancestors, like, you know what I'm saying, setting up an ancestor altar and speaking with your ancestors, you know what I'm saying, and coming to them with offerings. I'm not finna go into detail about that. There's various sites or pages or videos. I know Masterly Foolish. There was one gentleman. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the exact title of the video, but Masterly Foolish. There is a brother on there speaking about setting up an ancestor altar. So I recommend that video. That was really good. I like how he explained things. But like I said, there are various other sources. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's a great way to start whatever it is you may be getting into. Because our ancestors are very present in our lives, and all they want is for us to speak to them and contact them and let them know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just actually just speak to them. It don't have to be no crazy stuff. I don't know. I kind of keep it simple, stupid. Like, I like to kiss. Anyway, um, so what I was saying though is, yeah, don't get crazy like, oh, I don't have the money to do this, or I don't have the person in place to do this, or the resources to do that. I don't have the skill to do this. I don't, don't worry about that yet. Just get in the mindset, get in gear for what it is that you want to do in this next cycle. You know what I'm saying? Beginning on September 14th. What is it that you want to do? Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to meet? All of those things. I started thinking about that. And also, I did want to recommend some other things to you, some other resources that you can use. If you are at the very beginning of your path, because I will put this little explanation. One of the reasons why I'm doing these videos is because at the very beginning of my path, my spiritual evolution, my awakening, um, it was, I was very, I don't want to say I was very lost because, I was being found. However, there was a lack of resources at that time. And now I can't say that there's a lack. I mean, there's an influx, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Um, but sometimes I feel like there are key things that are forgotten and spoke about. That it was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? If I only had that source at that time, like shit, but my path is my path, so it is what it is. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know who y'all are. I don't know who I may be speaking to. But you may need this information at this time. But I wanted to, because cardology is something that I just, I say probably like in the last year, um, I've been learning about it, you know what I'm saying, kind of gaining some information on that. But I've been looking at that, and that was actually something that came up with my with this cycle. Some patterns were revealed in like the cards. That was almost like some things that happened were faded because it was just like, wow, the dates for things were crazy in the cards. Yeah. Um, so AquariusMaximus.com. This is the first cardologer I was introduced to. And she has a website. The website is awesome as far as research, as far as finding out those different card suits. She does have general keywords for each card, but there's a lot of information to be found on cardology, honestly. And she also offers like certification classes and things like that. Because, okay, sevenreflections.com, excuse me, I do want to mention them. I think is written out the word sevenreflections.com. So aquariusmaximus.com and sevenreflections.com would be great resources for you to use as far as looking into cardology. Um, and then astroseek.com. I know I made a reference to astroseek.com before, in the previous video for astrology, but I always would recommend them because they you can even change charts and things like that. Like, I've been talking to one of my besties, and she's hella dope with the astrology, and she just hips me up on the fact that the different schools. I think I'm right with it. The different, yeah, no, the different house system. I want to call it schools. Anyway, the different house system of astrology. You know what I'm saying? People can find inconsistencies with that. However, those different things can relate. You know what I'm saying? To certain periods in your life, or to certain things that you may be looking for at that time, whether it's like something more to do with your past lives, or your relationships, things like that. So astroseek.com allows you to change, which, I mean, pretty much every site that does the natal charts has the options to change the house system. But they also, like, change to, if you want the Vedic, like, it's a like a little quick tab where you don't even have to go back and change it. I just like the convenience of it, whatever. I like it. Shout out to Lulu. I love you. um, yeah, I think that's all the information, or all the conversation I had to give. You know what I'm saying, that I had up in me at this time. But that's what I wanted to come and drop at this moment. I thank you all for tuning in. Peace.